So, what is a creed? Now, unless you were raised or brought up in or understand a super liturgical style church, or you were brought up in a liturgical background, you probably have heard the word, but you're not quite sure what it means when it comes to Christianity. Well, today, I want to look at creeds and what they mean and if they're still important to us today. What's up, everyone? I'm Reynaldo Ramos with Vine Media, and we love to help people stay connected to the vine that is Jesus, and we do that by making these topical weekly videos. And so we would love if you find any value in anything we do to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Now let's jump into the topic. The topic today is creeds. Now, again, unless you come from a liturgical background, again, you probably heard this, but you don't really know. Maybe you haven't heard it. So let's break it down really quickly. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you would like us to go and look over some of these creeds, maybe that's something we can do in the future. Now, creed is derived from a Latin word that means I believe. And that's exactly what a creed is. It is a summary of beliefs. And so for the first few hundred years after Jesus' death and resurrection, the church faced a lot of, let's call it, differing views of who Christ was, of what it means to be a part of the church, of what it means to believe in Jesus. All these things that are normal thoughts for us, they were not normal thoughts for those first few hundred years after Jesus' death and resurrection. Things such as Jesus being fully God, things such as the Holy Spirit, and a lot more to the different topics. And so one of the disciplines that the church formulated to combat all of these differing views and these differing opinions was they formulated statements of belief. And that's essentially what creeds are. They're statements of belief to express what the Christian belief is, what the Christian faith is. They are deeply theological. They are wow, I cannot say that. They are part of the ecclesiology of the church, meaning that they help inform what the church is and what the church is to do. And they're really important. They were really important, and I believe they still hold some value today. And there were specific creeds that were written down to combat specific heresies or specific opinions that were coming out and getting popularized. And so the church would issue these statements of belief. And then these were statements that would be said in the church. Even to this day, some of these creeds are said in liturgical churches. They help express the faith that we believe as Christians. So I'm just gonna say a few of these creeds. Some of these you may have heard, maybe you haven't. The most popular one would be the Apostles' Creed, and that is again, they're combating some heresies. The next is the Nicene Creed, a very popular creed. The next is the Creed of Athanasius, or the Athanasian Creed, and that one is really devoted to who Jesus is, and that one is actually a really long one. There's the Chalcedonian Creed. There's the Baptism Creed of Jerusalem, the Westminster Confession of Faith, that would be considered a creed. And so these are just a few examples of what a creed is. Now, again, is this important? Is this give any value to us today? I would say that while it's not necessary to speak in these creeds, let's say, or say these creeds in public or whatnot, I do think they have value for us, and it gives us an insight on how the church navigated certain things and certain issues. And so I would challenge you, if you've never heard of the creeds, or maybe you have, but you've never looked at them carefully, I would challenge you to go ahead and take a look at some of these creeds. Look at the issues that were raised there and some of the responses, and see how the church was thinking theologically as they navigated the death and resurrection of Jesus. And so I hope this pushes you to grow a little bit more, and as always, to stay connected to the vine that is Jesus. And we will see you next time.